Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick. I am occasionally known as the Orbital Alliance.
And I am Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk.
Yo, everybody who's hanging out with us in the live chat here on YouTube.
What is
tonight.
up?
What's good in the hood?
What
everybody?
is gooch?
What is good? What is good?
Hello,
yeah, we're
hello.
glad to be on the internet live with everybody here tonight. We are very, very excited to be doing another live broadcast. Last week we did a pre-recorded session, and we're back live, which feels good. It's fun to shift, but getting that live energy back feels real, and I'm here for it.
How's everyone doing? Say hello, hello, hello. If you guys are coming over from TikTok, let me know in the chat as well. Come over, hang out on YouTube.
Yes. Yeah, wherever you're viewing tonight, we actually are multicasting in a couple different places, and we'll kind of explain that a little bit later on. But wherever you're viewing, we're glad you're here. And if this is your first time tuning in to the show, what it is the Galactic Window. We created this concept which talks about how all of us see and experience the night sky uniquely. So all of us can walk outside in our front yard and look up and have different feelings, different sights, see something, look at something different. We're drawn to different things. We experience it in our own way. And that is kind of the simplest form of it. And we want to feature that story of individuals, like how we each receive that. So that's what we do on the show is we like to highlight guests and talk about astronomy and space. So whether that's your thing or not, like this is a totally palatable conversation that we like to have on the show. So there shouldn't be any sort of exclusion based on knowledge about space or anything like that. By no means is that the case. We want you to feel welcome here, and hopefully, above all, you learn something about space or astronomy or astrophotography, whatever it is. So you're welcome here, and we're certainly going to be featuring a unique galactic window tonight, like we have in all past episodes.
Dude, I am pumped. I am pumped. It kind of feels like it's, I feel kind of rusty because last week's episode was a very special one, but it was a pre-recorded episode. So now kind of just jumping back into the groove of things. But man, what a way to start off on a banger. Just coming back to swinging hard.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited, man.
Tan, do you want to share with people maybe who are new to the show what you do and like why you're into space?
Sure. Well, in a nutshell, I discovered astronomy 4 years ago, and most of my sharing of my experiences in astronomy has been on TikTok. So I do a lot of live streams of the moon, the stars, planets, and really I just want to get people to look up more. I definitely feel like we don't have enough of that. And in today's world, especially now, more than anything, I feel like we really, really need that astronomy in our life. So that's kind of my my story with astronomy. I love looking up, and I just want others to look up as well. How about you, Nick?
Well, really quick, I want to just
Yeah.
make sure people know like what you do with that. Like how can they find you if they want to see what you do?
Yeah, you can find me on the Talk. My handle is Chasing the Milk. I'm over on YouTube as well. Not as active, but I would say if you're trying to look for me, if you're trying to get my attention, you can find me on TikTok.
Totally. Yeah, and I have been into space my whole life, as long as I remember. I got really into it when I was about 7 years old. I had several incidents in my life that got me like mega interested in space. So things like my cousin showing me Saturn and the moon through his telescope, seeing Comet Hale-Bopp in the night sky as a 7-year-old, and even seeing Star Wars for the first time. Like, science fiction really drove my inspiration for wanting to know more about what was happening up in space. So later on, taking a couple classes in high school and college just for fun, like not even my my major or anything like that. I started taking astronomy classes, learning more, studying more on the side. Then I bought my own telescope. Then I started doing astrophotography in about 2013 or so. Started putting my iPhone on my telescope and taking pictures with it. And then now, doing it as a career, as a content creator. This is what I love to do, is just go out and take as cool of night sky photos as I possibly can of whatever celestial event is happening, and making sure I experience as much as possible. So I like to share what I do on my social media platforms, the Orbital Alliance, which is here on YouTube, which you guys are on right now. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, technically, because I'm in all the places. But if you guys go to the link in my bio, you can find me there as well. So that's sort of the nutshell of me. But we just love space. We love capturing it, Tan and I. So, right? We just like to
because of
bottle it up.
space. Yeah, absolutely. One of the coolest things is Nick and I, we actually met because of astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
We found each other on TikTok in the chat room.
Yeah.
And one day we were like, hey, man, you want to shoot the annular eclipse? You want to gonna hop on a plane ticket and meet up with me in Nevada and shoot the eclipse? I said, sure. And it's astronomy is just one of those things that bring people together. But it's I don't know. It's there's something about finding people that like what you do, but adding the element of astronomy to it, I feel like it just breeds a different kind of. I don't know what it is. It's kind of hard to explain until you kind of get in that groove. It's a different kind of friendship, I think.
Well, I think it's that concept that it doesn't matter who you are. If you live on planet Earth, like you have nighttime, right? Like everybody gets to experience this thing. So whether you live one state away in the US, or you live a country away, or you're on the other side of the planet in Antarctica, we all are witnessing the night sky, and you and I can both sit down and talk about it and see how we experience it differently, but also how we experience it similarly. And then boom, you got a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically what happened with you and me. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a cool platform. And I really don't think there's anything like it, because I mean, almost any other concept that you can name, it's going to be just different enough. Like you could say food, but food is even different. Not everybody has the same food in every country, or the same type of house, the same language. Like all those things are different. But the night sky, everybody has access to. It's kind of a unique, universal human experience. And even though it's available in the same way, we experience it uniquely. So it's a cool thing.
Oh man, that's getting me so just pumped up already for tonight's guest.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, let's not mess around, dude. Right? Let's get into it. Let's bring her on.
Let's bring her on.
Here we go. Let's go.
Tonight, we have an extraordinary guest on the Galactic Window Space podcast. Meet Sofia Katherine, a talented wedding and nighttime photographer located in Alberta, Canada. Starting her career photographing concerts, she developed a bold and creative lighting style that she now fuses with the raw emotion of wedding photography. In 2018, she launched a deeply personal project, Nic Turna, honoring her late Mexican mother by empowering celestial-inspired portrait sessions for women. These one-of-a-kind sessions align with the lunar calendar, celebrating strength and individuality under the stars. From crafting magical low-light weddings to capturing midnight elopements under the Milky Way, Sofia has mastered the art of bringing light to even the darkest environments. Her work blends the celestial with the emotional, creating unforgettable images that are as unique as the people she photographs. Get ready to be inspired by Sofia Katherine's incredible story and her ability to find magic in the night. Let's welcome her to the show.
Yes. Hi, Sophia.
Yo!
Oh, hang on. I'll unmute you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Welcome.
Man,
Welcome.
This is awesome. It's a pleasure to have you here on the show. Cannot wait to showcase all the amazing things that you do with everybody who's watching.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you guys tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good. So real quick, I'm also streaming this to TikTok. So if you guys are over there, just know that I won't really be able to respond to you. If you guys want to come hang out, please just go over here to YouTube. It's the Galactic window. And you can actually chat and hang out with us in here as well. So just wanted to make that announcement real quick. But everyone else, yeah, guys, grab some drinks, grab some snacks, and let's have fun tonight. Yeah. Got my bubble tea right here, baby.
Well, Sophia, you are in a different country than us. You're up in Canada, which makes you the second Canadian to be on the Galactic window. How does that feel?
It feels good. We're freezing our butts off up here.
From what I understand, you're kind of in the middle of a winter storm. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. My Jeep was buried in the parking lot. I've been like thick in editing season, and I didn't leave my house for I think 4 days, and I had like 4 days worth of snow on my Jeep. It was literally it was crazy. So it took me a solid amount of time to get it out.
Goodness gracious. Well,
I'm
I
not
don't
ready,
envy
man.
you. We're not quite there yet here in Chicago. I mean, we had like 2 inches of snow last week, and that was about it. So there's probably the remnants of whatever you guys had.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Cold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, there's so much to talk about tonight, and I'm like, my brain is excited to talk about all of it, and I don't know where to start, but because it's just too cool. So you are a wedding photographer who features the night sky in her photography, and Tan and I both were like, that's something that we just don't see, because you're kind of blending multiple arts, and it's not just two. It's definitely more than that. These styles, and you kind of created this brand and this lens, pun intended, that is uniquely you, and I love that. So I was wondering if you could share with us in your own words how you describe your work.
I have many taglines I use. I say I'm obsessed with night plus light. I am a wedding photographer and portrait photographer for females that specializes in night shoots and like low light environments now. So yeah, a lot of my clients are, I don't know, like I have clients from all over the map. Some of my clients are really big like astro geeks and know so much about like the night sky even more than me. And then I have some clients who are, feel connected spiritually to the night sky and like certain moon cycle, like certain like lunar phases, like new moons and full moons. So that's what Nic Turna, my like female night shoots, is all about. And then I do some video work like in the commercial world, and that, because I chose to kind of like specialize in night photography in like the lifestyle, I guess, areas. Since taking on commercial work in recent years, I've gotten some really cool gigs that are, I got them because I know how to shoot in the dark, such as some like content trips to really cool like backcountry lodges and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Did that explain it?
Yeah, that was perfect. You're it seems like, well, all of us here, right? Nic is also a landscape photographer.
Yeah.
I we're both Milky Way photographers, so we're all not afraid of the dark here. But something about what you do is such a unique. Like I've never met a nighttime wedding photographer. Like, to be honest, the first time I even heard of it, I thought that is genius. So you are the only person in the entire world, and I've just even. It's just such a crazy concept, but it's so beautiful. And how, like, where'd you even get the idea?
So Nick, when you were talking about like how all of us see the same night sky, that kind of like triggered me to this question. I used to do engagement sessions for all my wedding clients, and everyone would be like, oh my God, sunset, golden hour, like beautiful golden backlit, because that's what all wedding photographers do. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me do that too, because that's what you do when you're a wedding photographer. And we didn't get golden hour. Like all majority of my shoots, we wouldn't get golden hour. And I was like, oh, and then there was this disappointment. And so at the end of the shoot, I would always be like, can I just like kind of mess around once the sun goes down and like experiment with lighting and, you know, like try to do like a night shot with you guys? And they were like, sure. So we would often go grab drinks and then like come back out, because we would be shooting in places like Banff, Jasper National Park here in Alberta. And those are like dark sky preserves. Like, and I really wanted to get good at shooting the stars. So I'd go out after with them. We'd get these like star shots. And of course, those were like always the favorites. And like they would blow up online and people would be like, oh my God, these are the best shots. And then we would like try to replicate like a night shot for their wedding. Maybe it was just outside the venue if we couldn't get like totally away for Astro. And then I just kind of got sick of doing like 6-hour engagement sessions, because that's what it turned into. It was like golden hour into night. And I was like, get rid of golden hour. And so I had to kind of learn how to deliver a full engagement gallery or just photo session gallery, because you can't just send them like 5 shots with the Milky Way where it's like wide angle, like landscape. Like, how do you do close-ups then? How do you do like ring shots when on an engagement session in the middle of the dark, right? So I had to kind of learn how to like create well-rounded shoots, and yeah, that's how it happened.
That's amazing. Oh,
How did you learn that? Was it just a lot of trial and error, or were there, like, how does one figure that out?
Yeah, a lot of trial and error. I got really good at using an off-camera flash, and actually someone who really helped me learn how to use that piece of gear is, I believe, watching tonight. Her name is Cassie. And funny story, I actually like completely did not do well on a wedding years ago. It was a big Italian wedding, and it was completely in the like a really dark reception, and I like barely knew how to use a flash, and I hated all the reception photos, and they were like just really poor quality. And after like that experience, I was like, I have to learn how to use this piece of gear. And so that's what pushed me to do like end my engagement sessions at night. And then I guess once I learned how to do those like landscape shots with like, you know, the lighting just on a couple, then I just kind of just played like backlighting and like 2 lights, like 2 flashes, and like just, I don't know, just a lot of mistakes learning how to do close-ups and all ring shots at night, things like that.
It's got to be terrifying, because I mean, I dabbled in wedding photography years ago, and you know, the pressure is like wicked high to deliver, because obviously when you're doing a wedding, you can't, there's like no room for error. You just can't. You know, it's their special day. You get one chance. They're not coming back tomorrow. But like, yeah, it's being able to function and deliver and experiment at the same time that takes a special kind of human being. So like, huge props to you for figuring that out and like dialing that in for yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun journey figuring it out.
But you're a better person than I, because I did weddings for like a very short run before I realized it was definitely not for me. So like I have a meta appreciation for the amount of like diligence and what's the word, like tenacity that goes into it.
I
cool.
explained to everyone, I'm like, every year, every January for anyone in the wedding industry, especially photographers, you essentially have a massive big like reset button that you have to press, and you have to go ahead and find, your season's clients again. You have to learn the new trends. You have to learn what editing trends are in again, what photography trends are in again, what wedding trends are in right now, what like fashion, like everything. Like it's a massive reset button every year. And I'll tell you one thing, doing my night shoots, like my engagement sessions at night, no lighting at a wedding scares me now. None. None.
Yeah.
No orange light, no light. There's no windows. I'm like, and that's what makes my images in between the directed posed portraits, like, the moments when I don't direct. I heavily don't believe in directing during getting ready, ceremony, and like parts where everyone's mingling and like, and when being confident with an off-camera flash that you can like shoot anywhere at any moment really elevates the moment photography that you can capture, like the photojournalism. So yeah, it's really helped.
What influences the trends, do you think, going into a new year for wedding photography? What do you think gets ahead of that? Is it like individuals or people who just like have early weddings that start doing stuff in January, or is it like stuff from last year that carries over?
I think it's like a I don't know. I think it's like a elusive magician in the sky who just like flips coins and is like, blurry photos are going to be in today, red is out, and like I don't know, like it's crazy. Every year I'm going into my 14th wedding season next year, which I have been self-employed fully from that for 14 years now. And so yeah, it'll be my 14th season, and I have seen so many crazy trends. And so I don't know, like I think the movies, I think what's trending in movies, cinematography, music, fashion in the runway, like just the digital art space, social media now is a really big influence, celebrities. Yeah, I think that's what all kind of influences trends.
That's cool. That's good to know.
I'm going to call it right now. After this podcast, nighttime wedding photography is going to be like the number one thing. Like everyone's going to be doing it.
Yep.
No, just kidding. they can come work. They can come learn from me. I'll teach them everything. It's crazy.
So 14 years, that's you've got a lot under your belt. At what point during those 14 years do you think you kind of started switching to the nighttime stuff?
It was around 2018 when I launched Nic Turna. Like 2020, started dabbling in. That's not true. Probably 2016. I started doing the night shoots for engagements like a couple years before I launched Nic Turna. And it was actually my mom and a conversation with my mom where she said, like, why do only the couples get to go on these fun night shoots with you? What if someone doesn't have a boyfriend, Sophie? And I was like, oh, good point, Mom. And she was like, you should take these women who have chosen different life paths out for night shoots. And it was a really good point, because she was like, when you're like, about to be married, you have your proposal photos, your engagement photos, your wedding photos. And then when you have baby, you have maternity, of newborn, and then you have annual family photos. So you're constantly documenting and like memorializing your life. And if a woman or even a man has chosen like, not to go down those paths yet, or even at all, like, when do you do photo shoots of yourself? You know what I mean? Like, when do you get in a studio with like maybe your grandma or your mom, your siblings, right? Or just yourself, right? And I think when females go out and want to do photo shoots in themselves, currently there's like, there's either headshot, like you either go get a headshot shoot, or you do boudoir, and you like, some women are like, I don't want like naked photos of myself. Like, I want to feel empowered. And I feel most empowered like out in like really powerful weather, or really powerful like places like outdoors, like especially at night. So yeah, that's what made me do them in 2018. So
well, you've been that's several laps around the sun that you've been doing this now, so you're certainly no rookie. You know.
Don't age me. Just kidding. I'm like, just kidding. I'm like, I feel new still. So
No,
it's
not at all.
crazy. So
You
Yeah.
mentioned Nic Turna. Can we let's dive into that. Tell us what that means, and yeah, share what is Nic Turna.
So Nic Turna is lunar-based night shoots for women. They're generally I loved going out at night on new moons because I knew that was my best chances to get stars. And so I've always really loved like astrology and just like I don't know the meaning behind the stars and different moon cycles and stuff. So I kind of started looking up like what does it mean spiritually to be like, out on a new moon or like new moon rituals. What do you want to do on those nights? And so I kind of combined my like love for that stuff and then like the tech part of it for astro, which was like I need people out on new moon nights in like the middle of nowhere. How do I make this happen? So then I was like, did you know new moons are like great nights for manifesting, and like these are some like really like well-known like new moon rituals, or like you can bring out like and then I didn't really love shooting on full moon nights, which Tan, you'll probably be really sad to hear. And so I was like, who goes out on a full moon? Boring. You can't get stars. But then I got these women who would come out and be like, oh my God, I feel so much power. And like, I'm way more connected to full moons. So I was like, ugh. So then it forced me to go out to shoot on the full moons. And then I was like, oh, wow. Like the light, like when I was bringing these people, because I always bring them to like dark sky areas. And I was just like, wow, this is so cool. Like, and a lot of my images are long exposures. So like there is multiple times in my life where I sit there, like I've got the tripod really low. I'm probably sitting on the ground, random place, because I'm usually shooting up. And I've clicked the camera and, it's a 30-second exposure or something. And I'm like, hey, stay still. They're not talking. I'm not talking. It's completely silent. We're in like the middle of nowhere. And I'm looking up and I'm like, oh my God, like the Milky Way, like stars. And I was just like, and I literally have to say, like, this is my job. Like, this is what I do for a living. This is wild and so cool. So, yeah, I don't know. That's Nic Turna in a nutshell.
Wow.
Nic Turna, and let me know if I'm wrong here, but you mentioned astrology. I don't know too much on that side of things, but sounds a little woo-woo.
It is. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, sounds a little woo-woo. Well, you mentioned people feeling a certain type of way during phases. Give me an example. Like, how does that affect your shoots, and what does that feel like to coordinate a photo shoot that's kind of structured around celestial bodies and certain feelings of the night sky?
I've had to do a lot of self-work because you have to hold a certain amount of space energetically for those shoots. So, and they're very special. The night shoots for couples also, like I had a couple recently have a lot of family trauma that's happened to the two of them right before their wedding. And so they actually had like an indigenous creator have make them some like dried herbs and stuff that they like cleansed that night out on the night sky. And so I don't know. It's you have to really take care of your own energy. And I was laughing at one of the episodes I was watching, Tan, where you were like, I gotta get pumped up, Hulk, for this podcast. And I was like, that's me on my way to shoots. I'm literally like, but it's not like Drake I'm listening to and Kanye. That's a wedding playlist. But no, when I'm on my way to a night shoot, it's like I have so many like binaural beat, like kind of like crosses between like meditation / electronic music. They're not meditations, but like they have like, quotes and stuff being said in them. And I'm like listening to this as I'm driving out, and I'm listening to this, and the questionnaires I have for these women are not like, like what's your favorite space color? You know what I mean? I don't care, like, or whatever. Like, you know, like I ask, like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you coming out on this experience? And like, you know, like what, you know, what's, tell me about the chapter you're in life, and like tell me about like the chapter you're entering. And and you know, a lot of the women are, I say, changing chapters when they do these shoots. So they either just lost somebody, they may have just lost their husband, they may have just lost a sibling, there may be getting divorced, there may be graduating, there may be having like a 50th birthday. Yeah, so it's really like big milestone chapter markers, like why they do these shoots. And it's just, yeah, it's really cool. I definitely have to ground myself once I get home, because they can sometimes be a lot, but they're really special. That's like, I feel honored that like people let me shoot them in the middle of the night.
Incredible. I'm a little overwhelmed. I felt like you kind of took me, well, in a positive way, because I'm looking at this completely different now than before when we even reached out to you to have you on our show. I'm thinking, okay, wedding photography under the stars. Now I'm seeing something so much more intimate, so much more therapeutic, healing, being so vulnerable, on both ends of the party. You, what you're bringing to the table, and then sharing that with someone else who's sharing their trauma and whatever they're going through, and the fact that you can capture them in this certain essence, under the stars, is just completely magical. Wow.
Yeah, when you were describing kind of like coming off of maybe a shoot where you feel that there's probably like that deflation almost. You it's high pressure, high connectivity, high feeling when you're in the moment. Like I know I feel this way after doing a shoot out in the night sky, because I get so excited and you're so connected, but then afterwards you're like exhausted. Like, do you feel like you're exhausted following those efforts, but in a really good way? And if so, like, how do you recover? How do you take care of yourself following a shoot that may have been really emotional?
I don't get as exhausted, I think, as you guys do, because you're working, like, you guys are usually doing like, I think, like time lapses and stuff, so you're out there a long time. PS, there's some really good questions that came into the chat. I was just looking at them. I got sidetracked. But when I come home from a really emotional shoot, I will ground myself. I'll like clear my energy. I'm really kind to myself when it comes to my own like scheduling of my life. My family still doesn't get it. I love my family, but they're like, what do you mean you're having breakfast at 11? And I'm like, what do you mean you got off work before 2 a.m.? Like, you know, like I drive home sometimes, not sometimes, almost all the time from these shoots after. So sometimes I have like 2 to 3 to 4 hour drives home, like in the middle of the night. You guys know all about that. So, I don't know. I'm just kind to myself and just make sure I like clear my energy and just like follow up on that person, make sure they're good. And it just really fuels me also when I get back here. When I get back here and I'm pulling up the files and I'm looking at these women, and sometimes it's couples too, right? Like, and I see like, you know, like for some people it's just a shoot, and that's okay too, right? Like it's just a really cool shoot and they're like, okay, this is dope. But like for some people it's a lot more than that, and you can see that when you're culling the photos. You can literally, it helps me select them. So
I'm learning that, you know, earlier I was describing that what you do has a lot of layers. There's the, you know, the wedding or the special moment or life change, you know, that you're documenting. There's the night sky element. There's the light element. There's the editing element. But I'm noticing there's this other layer, and it's empathy. Like you keep bringing up things that talk about connecting deeply with whatever the subject or client or whomever you're working with is going through or working on. And you even just said like to check in with that person, you know, after the shoot, like follow up with them. Like what does that mean to you? Like having that opportunity to be there for somebody, you know, through your work?
It means so much. Like I once did a workshop in Texas years ago in like 2016. It was the hardest thing I ever did. It changed my life. It was a week long, like intense workshop where they told you like, tell your family you're not available, like you're going to be busy. And they handpick a photojournalism assignment in a town nearby where you go shoot it for like 15, 16 hours for 3 days straight. And they pick the photojournalism assignment based on what's going to make you the most uncomfortable. So, and then when you get home or back to the hotel, you get critiqued. Your raw images get put up on a screen in front of all the other students, and they critique you and they teach you about how you think as a human, because they're like, how you shoot shows your process, like how you think, right? And one of the things the teacher said was, you have a gift, Sophia. You can make someone feel immediately comfortable around you when you walk in a room. You literally can like sit down with them and like they will tell you their deepest, darkest secrets, and like they want a hug from you. And like you are not even using that in your photography. They said your images have no emotion. They're perfectly lit. They're perfectly composed. You have amazing scenery. But when you look at the people, they're just standing there. She said, like, you're literally not even using your best gift. And so it was my mission after that to still use cool lighting and cool backdrops and all that, but really be able to like connect with the people that I was shooting and really bring that emotion out in those images. And you don't get that without just taking the time to know who you're shooting. So making them feel comfortable. So.
Wow.
What do you think it is about your past or your childhood or maybe whatever point in your life that helped you develop that ability to connect with people when you walk in a room? Is that something you just feel like has been with you forever, or is it something that somebody mentored you into, or was there some other influence?
But probably my mother, Odette. She just passed. So I'm going to try not to cry while talking about her. She was like the warmest, most amazing Mexican woman ever. And she was kind of like the other mom to like all of my friends in high school. I remember we would have like bush parties where I grew up. Up in like northern Alberta, we would literally party in bushes, like in the middle of the mountains. Like it was crazy. And she would go out with alcohol. Like it was crazy. And like, so she would like pick us all up after and bring us home. And she would let everybody like, like stay over and like talk to all the parents and be like, I got them, no problem. I picked them up. They're safe in my house, no problem. And we were like, okay. And then the next morning she'd be like, eat this. And she'd make chilaquiles for like everybody. And everyone was like, your mom's so awesome. My mom just always was so like welcoming and had the kindest, most like amazing heart. And I think, yeah, she definitely, she definitely taught me that. And just a lot of amazing people in my life, a lot of amazing family, and just, I don't know. Yeah. I grew up in a really crazy big Mexican family on one side, and then a crazy French family on the other side. So it was never calm during Christmas dinner and family gatherings. It was chaotic all the time. So it was like, I don't know, you just kind of had to get comfortable with people right away. So I don't know if that was what did it. So.
Wow. Dude, I'm just I'm blown away by everything so far. I don't know your mother, but I feel like I can kind of see just a reflection of her just talking to you. And like I said earlier, I just feel like this podcast has already taken a different turn than what I originally had planned. But I'm so grateful because this is the just coolest thing that I've it's the coolest thing. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing and being vulnerable with us. Like, with that,
seriously.
You're welcome.
It's a hard thing to talk about, and obviously that impacts your life significantly, but in amazing ways. And it's her story has poured into you, and that's helped shape your narrative and it's turned into this incredible thing that's impacting dozens, hundreds, probably thousands of people in the most amazing way. So that's what a way to
Thank
carry
you.
on the legacy of
Yeah.
familial beauty and importance. It's really
Fun
cool.
story. When
Mhm.
she when she crossed over, I knew she would show up on one of my night shoots. I was like, she's going to show up in spirit for sure. And so I had 2 night shoots, and one of them, the daughter's name, it was a mother daughter. The daughter's name was Sophia, and I was like, she's going to show up tonight for sure, right? She didn't. She didn't. Then I had a couple shoot on the new moon, and I was like, oh, she's going to show up tonight for sure. She shows up in signs of like owls. I was like, there's going to be an owl on the shoot or something tonight. No owl. And I was like, what the frick? Like, when is she? Where are you? I was like, are you going to show up? And so I didn't have plans for Mother's Day this year, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just was like, whatever, I'm going to figure it out last minute. And I just was home, and I just was like, I'm just going to be home and like do nothing. And my phone was like blowing up. Everyone was like, are you shooting this weekend? And I was like, no, I'm staying home. And they were like, it's like a G6 storm. And I was like for Aurora. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, I hear that a lot, that Aurora's gonna be crazy this weekend. But I'm like, is it really gonna be that crazy? And then I started getting like the data in and everything. And I was like, oh man, it is going to be crazy. Like, this is nuts. We haven't seen a storm like this in forever. So I called my boyfriend and I was like, hey, I'm driving to the ice fields tonight. I'm going to sleep in the back of my Jeep. And he's like, what? And I was like, bye. We live 5 hours apart, by the way. We're long distance. And so I was like, and he was like, where are you going to be? I'm like, this parking lot, because there's no cell service up there. And I headed up. He showed up with his truck and a full mattress in the back with like hunting grade below 40 sleeping bags and a portable oven to make tea with a kettle and like one of my favorite pizzas still hot from his hometown. Oh. And he showed up and he was like, and it was the first time I ever did a time lapse actually video. And it was the most like beautiful aurora ever. It was like that crazy pink one. And anyways, that was Mexican Mother's Day when it peaked. Like 2 dadays before like our North American Mother's Day. So yeah, so it was really special. So she did show up. She just waited for she had to be extra and like very, very dramatic. So I was like, hi, Mom.
That's so beautiful.
There was like, it's like a big celestial hug.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Like, oh, that's so cool. Beautiful story.
Yeah.
Oh man. I definitely want to cycle back here to some of the questions from the chat because
we got some really good questions.
And I definitely don't want to miss them while we have the chance. So let's talk about this. I think there's a couple of layers here. So can you talk about the dangers or tips for doing a shoot at night with all the attention that you get from flashes in dark areas? How do you stay safe? If you had any wild encounters with animals or people? And yeah,
great
I think
question.
there's probably a lot of layers to
question.
that. So obviously there's the being in the middle of nowhere, being far away from folks, but also potentially being near people you don't want to be near, or wildlife. Because I mean, being in Canada, there's of course you don't want a moose coming in like ruining the shoot. But also just the nature too of like having sort of this public edge to it too. Like this is like photography sometimes can like draw attention, and people, that you can't trust sometimes show up. So what's your answer to this question?
So it's tricky for sure. So first off, I've curated a lot of locations in the like areas that I work, which is Jasper Hinton area, the Drumheller, like Badlands and Hoodoos, and then the like Banff National Park, Icefields area, Kananaskis as well. So I have like, what makes it a great location for me, is very close to the vehicle. So unlike a lot of astrophotographers who are like, they're going on a hike, they're going to like a summit, and like they're hanging out there like for a while, and they're nowhere near their cars, I will never do that with a client. So my locations are all like pull up, and like some of my girls are coming out in like Louboutins, so like I can't be making them hike, and I don't want to hike with my gear and everything, right? I want them to feel safe. So locations is part of it. I prep them really well too. I'm always like, like if you're going to be partaking in like sacred medicines that night, like bring a driver. If you're just nervous about driving at night, bring a driver. I'm not going to drive you, but and then I always have a in cell service meetup point where we meet up, and then I say like, hey, I'm in the white Jeep, you know what I mean? And then like I pull up beside them, I'm like, how you feeling? And it's always at this like, I try to pick them usually at gas stations or like Tim Hortons, or very Canadian. Tim Hortons are open late in Canada. They're like perfect because then they can go to the washroom, like go get a tea, like, you know what I mean? Like get something hot. And so, so we head out. In terms of animals, I always carry bear spray on me for my shoots. I thankfully have never had to use it. I do also carry a knife. And that's pretty much it. Like if I get spooked, energetically as well, I'm like, next location, get in the car. And so we never stay at one location for the whole shoot. So I explain to my clients, you're going on a night little road trip. And each location's like, 5-10 minutes apart. I'm like, so bring a blanket, bring some warm, drinks to like stay warm while I'm doing test shots. And they're like, okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. So that's what we do.
I love
Sometimes
that.
It's crazy.
I love how meticulous and how prepared and how prepared you are, because like that's the biggest thing, is to have someone feel comfortable on a photo shoot, but it's another thing to have them feel comfortable on a photo shoot if you're doing it in pitch black. I myself have and I'm sure Nick you can relate, I have certain rules where if I'm taking out someone to shoot, we are very extremely strict on safety. Like, we don't scout at night, like things like that. But the fact that you have all these like perfectly curated little, rules, it makes your client comfortable. And that's like the biggest thing. You don't want someone showing up like already uncomfortable, getting ready to have their photos, taken. So I respect that. That's awesome.
The cell service thing was huge. That was such a good point. My gosh. I mean, it's like hard enough just doing night sky photography with, I mean, maybe it's different up in Canada because you guys just have a way better chance than we do down here. But like, most of those places that have good views of the sky, you're just not going to be in cell service. But I can only imagine that adds such an added level of security and comfort to the people you're working with. Just to know that they have connectivity and have a layer of support, and the ability to reach out to somebody if they need it, if something happened. I'm totally taking that note for myself. That was that's a really good one.
Peace of
mind.
It
goes both ways too. Like I vet my clients pretty well, and like I have a pretty extensive questionnaire that they fill out, and like I've never really had like I don't ever second guess my gut feelings, like my intuition, ever. Like if my intuition's saying like, I'll be like, you can do a night shoot in the city. I'm not going to the ice fields with you. Like that hasn't happened, but that's what I would maybe like the solution would be. But like the ice fields in particular, which is literally the middle of nowhere, it's like, it is ridiculously dark. You guys would love it there. And like, if I'm doing like a summer night shoot there, like we're like astronomical twilight starts at like 1:30 a.m. right? And our dark sky window is literally like 2 hours. So we're out there like middle of the night, like 3-4 in the morning. Like it's crazy. So I have to feel comfortable with who I'm taking on that shoot. And vice versa. It goes both ways, right? So
yeah.
I think you should get a katana. Just have this like wicked sword, ready to and take some like kendo classes and just get like legit. That would be so much fun.
Fair. A katana. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, why waste your time with just a normal sword? I mean,
Bigger go
Go full
home.
samurai.
Hmm.
You know.
I'll add it to my Christmas list.
Yeah, we'll send you one. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll send you a katana, and we'll get it engraved.
Nice. The stars or something.
Yeah, Nic Turna and the blade. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Sophia, I wanted to go back just a tiny bit to when you were referring to like how your energy felt, because we're gonna get a little woo woo here.
Okay,
Because I
let's do it.
because well, this is very relatable to me, and there was a time where I didn't have this extra step that I do now everywhere I go. And without getting too into the story, there was I had a really crazy. I'll just say it was a spiritual experience. Okay, and it was on some sacred lands, and in short, I basically heard voices. It was the first time in my entire life I've had anything like that happen, and it still has not happened. And I honestly don't want it to, because it was extremely terrifying. I was questioning myself for a long time if I was, mentally okay, because I legit heard an overwhelming amount of voices in my head. So now, what I do, and whether this works or not, I don't know, but it brings me a lot of peace, and that's just so important. But whenever I go to places, especially if I've never been on those lands before, if I'm going out to shoot the Milky Way, I will literally pull up and say, "Hello, guys. I'm going to be taking photos here until like 3 in the morning. I come in peace. I do not want any bad juju. I will respect the lands. Please respect me and my space. Thank you." And I will do that every single time. And I'll sometimes I'll say it out loud, and I don't care if people think it's silly. For me, it's kind of like my way of providing myself some kind of protection, because there has been times where I just get a weird feeling, and I don't know what that is. Maybe I just got spooked because I heard some coyotes. Whatever it is, if I just don't feel good, it reflects on my work. I don't want to take photos and not have that peace of mind. So I immediately leave. So I just love that you mentioned that, because that's just kind of it's an absolutely mandatory thing that I do, is provide this kind of protection. All right, this woo woo protection around me, and I will always do that.
That's like, I don't know. It's really it's just a different world outside in the middle, like, in nature at night. Like it's literally it's different. It's a different world. And I too have had I've had many times where that has happened to me, Tan, and scared like the
Mm,
living out of me. And I have learned that it's usually who I'm with. That is like that it's their energy. And like, sometimes I can't, like I can't control anyone else's energy. I can prepare them, and I have my own processes when I go out into certain areas, and like things that I do similar to what you do, Tan. And sometimes I just know, I never ever like ignore my intuition. And sometimes I know we're just not meant to shoot in that area that night, and that's okay. And then we move. And I prep my clients really well to be like, it's the no plan tonight. Don't work tomorrow. Like
yeah.
don't have plans at 8 a.m. Please.
That's making me think a little bit about, like, you guys are talking about like people's energies. Like how, if you ever seen those demonstrations by like high school or college science teachers where they stretch like a blanket or like a piece of cloth really tight, and then they put like a metal ball on it, and they kind of roll it around, and it kind of rolls, but you see it like the way the ball like has weight and indents on this like really taut piece of fabric, because you can see the weight like hold it down. But they're demonstrating gravity, and how in space, like it's almost like if there's a planet in space, like a planet has gravity, things that are out, objects have gravity because they have mass, and it's impacting space-time. And if that cloth were space-time, it's creating a gravity well. And obviously when we're looking at the demonstration, that's 2-dimensional, but in space it's 3-dimensional. So it's like that inward dent from all directions. The presence of Earth, the presence of the sun, any star, any asteroid, any planet has that three-dimensional indent on the space-time continuum. And I'm going hardcore in the nerd stuff here. Sorry. Point being, I'm wondering if people are the same way. If we all have sort of this three-dimensional gravitational indent on space-time, and we can feel the intensity of that in other people. And sometimes the way that we either think, the way that we live our life, the way we speak, influences the way that that is distributed in the physical space around us. And maybe, like, would you agree, either of you guys, I would chime in. Do you feel like that, am I onto something there? Or maybe not at all. I don't know. But I was like, I kind of connected the dots there between space and people, because it sounds like you could maybe walk in a room and walk into a photo shoot with somebody and be like, interact with their gravity well, so to speak, and yours, and see how that meshes. And that can help determine whether you feel safe or you feel threatened. I don't know. Is that making sense?
Yeah. I just, in simple terms, for me, it's good vibes and bad vibes. There have been times where, and maybe you guys can relate. Let's just use a Debbie Downer friend, for example. They literally could just be standing next to you, but something about their energy, it's offsetting. It makes you, maybe you feel a little sad, or you can feel these things. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, someone who is just super charismatic, or someone who's just so lovable, just being in their presence, they don't even have to talk to you, but just being around them makes you feel loved, makes you feel supported. So yes, I think there's some kind of there's just some kind of element that's there that we can't, that's not tangible, but it's I believe in it 100%, man. It's there.
Yeah, like I always feel energies like big time, like in my work, my personal life, and I used to be really scared of it, and I would have like night terrors for years. And I think since Mom crossed in particular, I have really been like open to the other side, the like whatever it is on that other side. I don't even know, you know what I mean? But like I have shared a lot of the times that she's showed up, and some kept like sacred to myself, but like she's showed up so much since she's crossed, things that I like could not plan, like coming home from like a summer solstice ceremony. I got to actually walk fire with a bunch of women under the solstice moon that night. And anyways, when I was driving home, I felt so much gratitude, and I was like, wow, what a beautiful night. The Sabbats are really important to me because my mom actually crossed on spring equinox, so I knew the solstice would be important. And driving home, and my sign from her is an owl. And I'm not kidding. I'm on a major Canadian highway, 4 lanes, and an owl was literally sitting on the shoulder. And I went like 110 kilometers an hour past it, like zipped by it. And I was on my phone, like texting somebody. And I was like, and I could just hear this voice, like, get off your phone, get off your phone, get off your phone. You're driving at night, get off your phone. And I was like, right. And I put my phone down. And as soon as I looked up, there was an owl on the shoulder. And I was like, and I zipped by it, and I was like, am I losing my mind? Was that an owl? like we're so connected, like while we're earthside and past, you know what I mean? And like, and the more people that I talk to about this who also have, people on the other side, and the more I'm like, there's no way we're not still connected somehow, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty. Anyways, that's a whole other podcast. What is this life?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's a good thing you listened when you did, because you would have just missed this cool moment.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest this year for sure. So, and it really helps me on wedding days too. You know what I mean? Like on a lower scale, you know what I mean? Because like when I'm walking into like a getting ready space, and say like there's a bride getting ready with her mother, you know what I mean, and all her friends and everything, you just kind of know. And when you're in tune with like energy, you know what I mean? And like, you just pay attention and you don't second guess yourself, you know, like, oh, like, you know, I can walk into a getting ready space with a bride and I'm like, oh, like, I would love to do some portraits of just you in the other room, like by yourself. And she's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just tell someone like in her, you know, instance, like needs a break, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I like what you said. I like how you like explained it though, Nick. It sounded way cooler than how I'm saying.
I think he's really good at doing that.
I was like, wow, it sounds amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I love the opportunity that we all have to like assign more tangible handles sometimes to hard to describe concepts. Like there's analogies, there's stories to attach, and it always I find it helpful when people do that for me. You know, there's like, oh well, I don't quite understand what you're saying. Well, let me rewrap it this way. You know, that's it helps take it home sometimes. So it's fun to do.
Sophia, what are some of your most give me a couple of some of your most memorable photo shoots under the stars?
Oh man, I have so many.
Top two.
Okay. I had a client last year who was very, I'm not going to call her demanding because I love her. She's going to know it's her if she watches this. And I love her. But she was very like particular. And she was like, for my engagement session, I want the Milky Way. And I was like, honey buns, we can't guarantee the Milky Way, which was actually one of the questions earlier. I'm like, we can schedule you on a new moon. We're going to go out at the right time. We're going to go out to the right location. But if we get clouds, we work with it. And like, that's what we do. Okay. So then we went out and she didn't get the Milky Way. And she was like, meh, meh, meh. Right. So that closer to her wedding, and she was still happy. And like, and then I did her questionnaire for her wedding. And she was like, I was like, any particular shot you want for your wedding night? And she wrote photo with the aurora. And I was like, oh, I was like, unlikely, but okay. And so fast forward to their wedding. I'm shooting their wedding and it's their reception. They're like doing their dances and everything. And and one of the, I don't know, like cleaners from the venue, like walked by my assistant and was like, Aurora is supposed to be out tonight. And like, we're standing there, the two of us. And he was like, I don't know if you guys know how to take a night photo. Like maybe you just do wedding photos, but like, if you know how to take a night photo, it's supposed to be Aurora right now. And my assistant was like, do you know who she is? And she's like, that's all she does. And I was like, anyway, so I went outside and I was like, is the Aurora really that crazy? And I went outside and I was like, oh my God. And I like ran back in and I like went right to the MC and I was like, pause, like you need to pause like the wedding, like, and it was, we were at the end of the speeches and it was like their first dance was still had to happen and that's it. And so I was like, nope, like drink break, like I'm stealing them now. And so I stole them. And he was like, yeah, no problem. Gets on the mic. He's like, hey, we're going to take a little breather, go get a drink, blah, blah, blah. And so I take the couple and I was like, run. And so, and we're on a property that like doesn't have a lot of light. We're away from the city. And this property had a pond with like a beautiful still pond. And I said, get in that rowboat and get out in the middle of that pond, like immediately. So they did. And so that photo, you guys shared that photo in my intro. I got so many hate comments and like people, because it went viral, people being like, Photoshop, fake, there's no waves in the water, no way that's real. And so I literally just started like posting the back of my camera and was like, yeah, literally kept posting shots of the back of my camera when I shared it and was like, look, this is out of camera. And like, obviously I boosted the blues or a little bit, but literally I shot this in camera. And one guy, my response was like the back of my camera, and he wrote back, "My bad. Do you offer workshops?" So this was on like global news up here in Canada and stuff. So that was probably, anyways. And I have a video of a behind the scenes with like a headlamp on and stuff. And I was like, "You got your photo?" And she was like, "I know. I asked for it." And I was like, "Oh, the power of manifestation, folks." So that's probably one of them. Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, I love the comment from Chris here. It said W assistant. My suggestion is bring your assistant with you on shoots instead of the knife.
Have her have the katana. Yeah.
Yeah. Just needs to like roll up the sleeves and just let me at him. Come on, bears. I'll take you on.
Bears.
Yeah.
I did do a elopement under the rare black new moon a couple years ago, and it was at they actually got married at 1 a.m. Midnight, underneath a waterfall, and we had to hike like 5K in. And the assistant I brought on that one was a firefighter. I was like, "Hey, nice. Man, you're coming on this one." So I brought like a giant dude on that one because I was like, I don't know what we're gonna encounter up this hike. So yeah, I definitely bring large assistants when needed.
You bring his fire axe. Yeah.
No, he did bring a gun though.
Anyways, there you go. Yes.
Canada.
Yes.
Canada.
Right. Oh my gosh. Really quick, I want to take a quick second here just to engage with the chat here for a moment. If you are tuning in with us tonight on whatever platform you're watching, we just want to say thank you for saying hi in the chat and being here and supporting the Galactic Window Space podcast. Tonight we're talking with night sky wedding photographer Sofia Katherine. She's here broadcasting from Canada, and we're glad to have her here. So if you guys are interested in learning how she does her epic photography, keep listening to the duration of the show tonight. You guys will not be disappointed at all. Sophia, I was wondering, somebody had asked in the chat too, where's the best way that people can view your work? On your website, social media, how can we promote that for you real quick?
Well, my website has a little bit of everything, but I'd say probably my Instagram. My main Instagram would probably be the best place to see my work, which is you guys have it under my name, Sofia Katherine. I have my other like I keep that one mainly weddings, just to like keep the portfolio. That plus I've built that one over the like years, so that is like a wedding community that follows me there. But in the bio, I have Nic Turna tagged in Instagram, where you can see all of my like more spiritual female night shoots. Yeah, and then on TikTok, I'm not afraid of the dark, and I'm still a complete noob to TikTok, even though I enjoy scrolling, but I haven't like really dove into content making like specifically for that platform yet. So Tan, please teach me.
Man, real quick, can you for the listeners out there, it's at Sophia_Katherine, and then your other one was Nic Turna. That's NICTURNA, correct?
Yeah.
And then on TikTok, you are not afraid of the dark. And yes, I'll be happy to help you as much as I can. You need to share these incredible stories on Talk for sure. But guys, something I want to do here. Please, if you guys have any questions, now is a good time to throw them in. We're going to do a little Q&A for the chat here. So this is a really good opportunity for you guys to ask a question. We are going to be super focused on just reading your comments. We were having an awesome discussion, and I know sometimes when we get comments in the chat here, it's really tough to just kind of like put a pause on the conversations. But now, if you guys want to have a question, we are more than happy to look over them, and we might feature your question.
There was one here from Tyler Ward. What's happening? I'd love to know if she does any lessons or workshops.
I just just launched my first ever workshop on last Friday. So I have a
Let's go.
I have a
Congratulations.
I have
That's freaking
envisioned
awesome.
it's been like so many years in the making. I've never really done anything other than like I've done some one-on-one mentorships, and I have like mentored my like some of my team members for years, but it's a retreat style workshop. So with like a grounding day when like students arrive and all food included. I have like a amazing chef. I'm flying out from Vancouver Island to make like really like intentionally thought out and like nourishing meals for everybody. And we have some amazing sponsors, Magnet Mod and Godox Flashes from Strobe Pro are like sponsoring it. And yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We even have like a tea time post night shoot wrap up sponsor with like a local apothecary. So anyways, it's like a 3-day learn how to shoot in low light conditions, basically a lot of off camera flash. And it's in an off grid location here in like Northern Alberta. So I really feel strongly in making people disconnect in order to learn and really like get into their craft. And also like, I feel like, yeah, it's the tagline I have for the workshop is find your light internally and literally from an off-camera flash. So there'll be a little bit of like work like internally too. So yeah.
Congratulations. That's freaking
Thank you.
awesome.
It was a big deal to
seriously.
launch it.
Yeah.
And then this podcast, like by chance, was like after it. And I was like, oh my God, I never even thought how like perfect it is that those two lined up. So I'm just so stoked to talk about it.
I wouldn't say it's by chance. I would say it's a little woo-woo, if you ever ask me.
It's like,
Yeah.
love. Woo. It's woo perfect.
I mean, that takes some huge courage to put something together like that and to like see it through from start to finish.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see, the good that comes from it, and to hear about years from now how that expands and grows and develops into this really amazing thing. I have no doubt that's going to happen. But like seriously, like that's a huge leap of faith on your part to execute on something like that. Like so awesome to hear. Mega inspirational.
Thank you. It's been, I haven't
inspiring.
felt confident enough to do it for years. And I just never, I finally was like, let's do it now or never. Thanks, Mom. She's like definitely giving me a healthy dose of YOLO this year. YOLO big time.
Oh, that's great.
It's interesting you say you don't feel confident, because just in the hour that we've been chatting here, I'm just thinking like, what a freaking pro at absolutely every aspect of what you do. I've already learned so much. I've already feel like I should send you money just from all the knowledge that you have shared. So, man, yeah, this is exciting. What an awesome journey. And I already know that you're absolutely going to crush it. And with your clients, to me, this is more than a workshop. It just sounds, just based on everything that you've shared, it's going to be more of just a way to disconnect, a retreat, and maybe a way to find your inner self too. There's like this spiritual component that just ties everything together. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited. So it happens to be it's a new moon that weekend, and it actually, just the way the dates worked out, I didn't plan it, but it actually happens to be my mother's birthday that weekend. So we're starting all the students will arrive to a really big authentic Mexican dinner. The chef is Mexican. So
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Everything, I just feel like there's so many of these in your face, like not coincidences, but just things that have just lined up perfectly. And it's, I don't know. I know I say woo woo a lot, but I truly am a firm believer of just things like this are perfect examples of woo woo, and things, elements that are outside of our control working in really interesting ways to make things happen. Incredible.
yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have so much to teach and show. Like, yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for talking about it.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
All right. Next question we got coming up here. This one, weather from Chris. How do you handle that? I'm sure it's incredibly difficult to plan, especially since it's some long distance traveling. Yeah, what is your approach to weather? I know you touched a little bit on it, but I'm sure there's been some scenarios that have been more unique.
I always say, I tell my clients, we are weather fearless. Like the most amazing images I've had to date have been in the craziest weather conditions. I have a really well-known photo of a couple with a full moon kind of peeking out behind them with a mountain, and they're like holding on to each other, and their hair is moving, mainly hers, and her dress is moving, and they're backlit, and it looks really amazing. Really cool night shot. There was 120. I know a lot of Americans are following, so I don't know how to convert this Canadian. There was 120. It was 120 kilometer hour winds hitting them from the side on this image, and it was raining at the same time, or snow raining. And they're getting like hit with this rain on the side of them. And I was like, are you guys okay? And they're like, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And so like my light stand kept falling over. I had to like bring out a weight to weight it down. And I got the shot, and it was like one of the most amazing shots. And it definitely got a lot of attention online. So I always tell my clients we are weather fearless. And I have like a whole guide that I send them out. I'm like, we go out no matter what. Like there's some like really amazing things that we can get if we have clouds and stuff. So yeah, I obviously always pray we have clear skies, especially when it's a new moon, because I know a lot of people are like, I must have the, Milky Way. So, and I do have a rescheduling fee. If they really want to bump their shoot, they can pay. So, but if you don't want to pay, then we go forward. So
that's a really good contingency to have.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna show this one. I really like this one from Kaylee here. Do you have any new projects in mind or ideas you want to try with photography?
Well, the workshop for sure is new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of in this, like, is this a good idea? And like proof of concept kind of like stage of that. So that for sure. Any ideas you want to try with photography? I think, one thing I have really tried to start this last year with my wedding clients is creating kind of like almost like a little mini ceremony for them at the end of the night of the wedding. So at the end of a wedding, I always pull them out for a night shoot. And often it'll be like sparklers with their wedding party, or like maybe popping bottles, and like other people might be there smoking cigars with the whole crew. And those are cool. I still want to do those. But lately I've been taking the couple, just the two of them, and like not for long, like 5-10 minutes away from everything. And even if it's just like in the city, just out at night away from the building, and just giving them something that they can do, just the two of them. So in some cases that's, like sharing like a sweet treat, or like just having a moment, and like just having like, I don't know. Yeah. So like, I guess my answer to that question is fusing more of like the spiritual stuff that I really love and know well into like my regular wedding clients. Like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. I love that so much. It's you. It's a reflection of who you are. Why not share it in everything you do as much as you can?
Yeah. And like getting more into video. Like I've been getting more into video for the last 2 years. So like, yeah. So video has been a big part of like Nic Turna as well. So that's new too, ish.
Nick and I are just huge video heads. So yes, we encourage it.
Yes.
More video, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Happy to support however we can too. Collabs are the way to go. Do some fun projects.
Send you a few katanas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yes. You guys seem to have some pretty dark skies where you are, like at night, like in the middle. What is it called? The mid-US, mid-state. What is it called?
Midwest. Yeah.
Midwest. I don't know where you guys are.
Well,
yeah, that area.
We're actually both by big cities. So I'm under a massive
Okay.
light dome. So I have to drive at least 4 hours to get anywhere near a pocket of true dark skies. And that's like just in one direction. Basically, every other direction, it's just bumping into the next city. So yeah, we don't have it super great, but Tan, you probably have it a little better than I do. But
I don't know, man. I'm about 35 minutes from my major city, which is St. Louis, and again, it's not great. I gotta fill up the tank if I want to really enjoy some dark skies. I'd much rather be up in Alberta, for sure, for sure. But it's one of those things you work with the cards you're dealt. So there's always challenges, and that's kind of one of the things that I found out really early on in astronomy, is that clear skies are nice, but if there's clouds or if it's raining, there's just absolutely nothing you can do, and that's just part of the game. But it also makes you appreciate those moments where you can hang out under some dark skies. Yes, you might have added a little more miles to your truck or whatever, but in those moments when you're under the stars photographing whatever it is, you really, for me at least, I appreciate those moments more, because I know that that little bit of extra miles that I added to my truck, or that little bit of sleep that I didn't get, was all for this one photo, and it's a special thing. So in a way, I would like darker skies to be right down the street, but because I don't have that, it makes me more grateful for those moments and times that I can go out.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in August. I was up in Manitoba. I was kind of in like central northern Manitoba. First time going up there, but being in Bortle 1, like pure dark skies. Like you guys have a very special world up there, and yeah, I definitely I plan to go back soon, because it was special being up in Canada. You guys definitely have access to some really beautiful areas, and yeah, a night sky that I wish I had in my backyard that I don't, for sure. So
I love that. A lot of people skip out on Alberta. They head to like BC or like Toronto. And I'm like, Alberta has like some of the most amazing mountain areas, like Banff, Jasper, the ice fields, or like Waterton is like completely underrated, which is literally right above you guys, like right above Montana, like Glacier National Park. And it's like one of my favorite mountain towns ever. And the skies there are phenomenal, like ridiculous. So yeah, there's some cool places up here. Definitely let me know if you guys end up here.
for sure,
I'll let you know where to go.
Oops, I meant to pin this one here. Nic and Tan, BFF photo shoots, please.
That would be amazing, and very on brand for the Galactic window. You can bring your mics out.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, it'll be a silhouette. I'm imagining like a silhouetted photo shoot.
Oh
with
my
the
God.
microphones and headphones and
Yeah.
or you know what we could do? Let's go to like an antique store and buy an old windowsill, and we'll hold the window and have the moon shining through it.
Ooh.
And then
I like it a lot. So I know I'm so in. I've been to Banff before, and I got to see like Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, and it truly is one of the most prettiest places that I've got to visit. And I went at a really interesting time. It was kind of like, I don't remember what month, but when I arrived there, it was kind of just it felt like it was fall, and then the next day there was just, it started snowing. So I felt like I got to enjoy like this perfect mix of I don't know. It was just so beautiful. So I'm so down for a Nic and Tan BFF photo shoot.
Oh my God, I would be honored to shoot that.
yes. Oh man.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I will make you set intentions for your next chapter. Warning.
Oh,
Just
and will there be tamales there or any kind of
tamales? I am making
Yes.
tamales for Christmas this year, actually. So
I'm in.
I could arrange
So
this.
Chilaquiles. Yeah.
Oh, chilaquiles are my favorite. They're so good. So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's go, dude. Here's a slightly more technical photography question for you. What hurts more, motion blur or noise in your photos?
Neither. Noise, like I don't know. I get that question a lot. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like a lot of like what's your ISO at? And I'm like, I don't know, like 120,000. And they're like, what? And I'm like, and I'm like, denoise in Lightroom. Like, come on, like we
Works
don't
pretty
even.
dang
It
good.
doesn't even matter anymore. Like, so
Mhm.
noise. Like, I guess noise does get annoying sometimes though when I want it nice and crisp. Motion blur. Like if I accidentally hit the tripod, that is incredibly annoying. But motion blur is really popular right now, and really trendy in like especially in wedding photography. So I actually intentionally will get my girls for Nic Turna. One of the images you guys shared actually was like that, where I've got like a full moon. It was actually solstice that night, and the full moon was like coming over to Jack Lake in Banff. And I had her just like walk past, and she's got it like she's kind of got this like almost ghostly figure, like, you know what I mean, like, and she was changing chapters too. And so like so motion blur, like, I love. So I'd say if I had to answer, it's noise.
Was that the woman in the red dress, the dark red dress?
No, she's like in
the
white.
Yeah,
she's in white.
off
Yeah,
to the right.
yeah,
I saw
and
that.
she was off to the right. Yeah, in that one. Yeah.
Really cool.
Wait, maybe I think I found it. I'm trying to find it so we can feature it here.
Oh yeah, that was, we drove out at
here.
there was like midnight sun in the sky still that night. Like, well, like 11:30. Like it's so late. Like, and we just like, yeah, we just were roaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this it? Is this the right one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little pixelated there, but you get the gist of it. So yeah.
I'll zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very ghostly. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
That's
yeah.
wild.
So
Look at
if I had to answer noise,
man, it's crazy looking.
Yeah, to Jack Lake is stunning. So yeah,
Wow.
that was solstice a few years ago.
Beautiful.
Amazing. That's cool.
Thank you.
I like this, Nick. This the little 3 pog looking thing. I've never
Oh
seen
yeah, the
that.
little bubbles. We got all these different arrangements we can do here.
I haven't seen that one.
It defaulted to that when we did the screen share, and then it kind of.
It's a sign.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, these have been great questions, everybody. Thank you so much. I did want to ask one more myself here, and I'm curious. This is more of like a zoom out for contexts. Thinking about your life philosophy, like just the way that you choose to live, the way that your life experience has shaped you. What sort of narratives come through for you in your life that you just like, if you could share with people, like one nugget of wisdom, what would that thing be? Like, what would that nugget be for people that you want to relay?
Oh my, that's a big one. I don't know what to say on that one.
Yeah, no worries.
Like lately, I think it's so important to disconnect. Like lately, that's my big one. Like I don't know if that's like legacy type quoting, but I think just like disconnect and reconnect with yourself, and like, you know what I mean, and like, and at the end of the day, like, you are always going to have you know what I mean? Like, you can't control who else you're going to have, where you're going to live, where you're going to be, what your work's going to look like, any of that, what your body's going to do. Like, you always will have like your soul and your mind though. And like, I don't know, just like take care of that person. You know what I mean? Like, take care of like stay connected to that person, because that's where the magic is. It's within. And I don't know, just like find your magic, you know what I mean? And like, don't be unapologetically go after it. You know what I mean? Like, don't doubt your magic. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a good quote. Don't doubt your magic, and find out what your magic is.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love that
stuff.
so much. Great question.
Great answer.
Okay, I was like, I got on the spot here.
Even better answer.
Yeah.
I think you hit it out of the park. You know, you that came from inside you. That wasn't something that you had like scripted and ready to go. Like I could tell that was something that was real and true to you. So thank you for sharing that. That was awesome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well said. That's I love questions like that, and I love answers like that, because it always puts me in a position to kind of check myself too. Because I was like, man, that's a good question. And then I started trying to answer myself. I'm like, man, I struggle with that. Sometimes I go so tunnel vision, and I'll tell other people advice that I won't listen to myself. And I don't know why we do that. Maybe these are gifts and we're meant to share that. But I also, like, I have a hard time of like disconnecting, even though I tell people to do it. And I don't know why. It always just, it comes in these waves where I get so far out, and then I realize, I'm like, okay, maybe I should just take a little break from social media or whatever it is I do in life. But I will say I'm getting better at it. And just hearing you say that, it's like, Tan, quit being so stubborn. Like, it's such a beautiful answer. And I have to listen. I have to listen to myself, especially whenever people are just giving such great advice about doing just that, is disconnecting, taking care of yourself. So thank you.
Well, and that's what's going to make you that's what's going to make you, like, show up better when you do. And you're refreshed. You're like, okay, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I had an assistant here all day today culling a wedding for me. And so I couldn't use my main computer. I could put her on the laptop, but I was like, okay, use the big computer and I'll like go do my hair and makeup for this podcast. And so for like hours today, I couldn't use my main computer, and I was like itching kind of to like do some stuff. But I was like, but because I didn't have access to it for even just like, 4 hours, then once that 4 hours is done, I'm like, okay, I'm excited to work and get on the computer. Right. And it's no different with like social. And I hear you, Tan, because like, I definitely don't go live as many times as you do on TikTok. But I'm really connected to like my Instagram, like community. And I feel like I just constantly have to like document my whole life. I'm like constantly documenting everything I do, like trips and everything. Right. And like, I lately have really took the time to just be like, nope. And like, let my family know, and like go off grid too. Like, I love finding lodges that have no cell service. That's like my thing lately. I'm like, no cell service. Great. I'm like, so yeah, it resets me and like my nervous system too. And then I get back and I'm like, I am like ready to go. So yeah, it's it works really good.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Sophia, looking ahead to your workshop, is there anything you wanted to talk about regarding that, and as something you any thoughts that you wanted to feature before we kind of wrap up tonight's conversation?
I put it out in the world. I actually was like, I would love so much to have a student from the States come up. So I am like putting it out there that someone from the States comes up to Canada for the workshop. It's like, yeah, I feel so passionately to share what helps me, mainly in lighting, but also a little bit of woo-woo, but mainly lighting. And I just know how amazing of a weekend it's going to be. I don't know. I wasn't looking at the screen. Oh, keyword. Hashtag
What
woo-woo.
was that, Tan?
I hear the two W's, and it does something to me, man. I love it.
I'm dying. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just excited for that weekend. So I didn't see your face. Like, this is lovely. I'm gonna have to watch it back and
Go back to the time code at 1:34:10 or something like that. And I think that's what we're at that point. Then find Tan and zoom in real close on Tan. You won't be disappointed.
Oh my god. Okay, done. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna story it.
Oh my goodness. How can people register?
My Instagram has a link in bio, and it's on my website as well. The workshop's called Illuminate.
Okay.
A weekend to find your light.
Cool.
So again, people, here's her handle at Sofia_Katherine on Instagram, and you can find that link in her bio. That's the best way to get there.
Sophia, this has been an incredible night. Such amazing stories. And for everyone listening, or if you're just tuning in later on, please show Sofia Katherine some love. I do want to. I think you have something to share with us, right? Maybe like a little secret something that you're excited about, maybe?
Yes, I have. I have. So I thought it'd be cool for the first seat to my workshop to give it away. So I hosted an Instagram contest over the weekend to give the first seat away, and I told everyone I would announce the winner live on your podcast. So
what is that about to happen?
Oh, what?
Oh,
yeah.
So, please be tan.
I'm
please
so
be
excited.
Tan. Please be tan.
Please be tan.
Please
Please be
manifest
tan.
it.
Please be tan.
If it is tan, like, could you imagine people would be like, exit the chat,
unfollow, block.
unfollow, lame.
Why did our viewers drop to 0? That's weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. You are giving away a seat, a ticket to your workshop.
Yeah, and the tickets go live tomorrow at 11:11. So you couldn't even buy a seat till now.
11:11.
Sorry, till tomorrow. I know, right?
Ooh,
Everything I
love
do.
it. Yes. Okay, real quick, just a quick tangent because I don't want to take away from this, but I have hoodies for sale and they cost $44.44.
Oh yay!
I love the woo. But okay, so let's man, a ticket giveaway. Shall we announce it?
Yeah, I know who it is. Obviously, you guys. I
I
can't wait for her to know.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Wait, hold on. Should I record this? I'm going to record this. Too.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
However you want to do it.
Look at this comment right here.
Well, the winner is
Woo is always the winner.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Do you want to say it, or do you want me to just put it up?
No, you say it. One of you guys say it.
All right. So, oh my gosh, this is like a huge honor. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. The official winner of this seat to Sophia's workshop is Rebecca Walker. At Rebecca M. Walker is the handle. So, Rebecca, if you were out there, huge congratulations.
Yeah,
You
seriously.
just won something wicked cool.
I can't wait to tell her. She's gonna lose her mind.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that for me, you guys.
Yeah, no problem. Are you kidding? This is like really, really cool to witness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Congratulations, Rebecca. Woo!
Seriously, yeah, congratulations to you and everything that you're doing, Sophia. I am so grateful for you sharing such an incredible story and your insight on how you just run things. So cool and very inspiring. I just feel like I have so many ideas, and I just got that little boost that I needed to maybe just take a leap of faith myself and try something that might be uncomfortable. And sometimes all it takes is just having someone on a podcast to share the story to have you get out your comfort zone. So
I don't know. You make fun of woo woo quite a bit, but like I watch your like live moon like TikToks, and like you're pretty like. Do you guys look at the moon? Like, you sound pretty woo woo. So I'm like, I don't think it's a big jump.
But yes.
Like, do you guys see that? Like, wow. So I don't think it's a far jump, Tan.
Woo is something that is very, very close to me, and I feel like only because there was a time in my life where I felt the complete opposite, and I was really, really stubborn. I guess to receiving signs, synchronicities, whatever you want to call it. I'm very woo woo, and it's gonna be like that till I'm gone.
I would like to just also recognize the other winner of tonight, Sophia, for best impersonation of Tan. That's yeah,
I was confused for a second. I was like, why am I hearing myself talk?
You're,
crazy.
Is there a feedback loop happening? Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Dead.
What a night. What a show.
Dead.
Man.
Dead.
Right.
Dead.
Oh man, so dead. Yeah.
Oh man. But for real though, every time, yeah. Anyways, I like Tan. Like, how are you? Like, have you ate yet? Like, you're live. Like, I think you're live. Like your whole life right now. Like, like. Hopefully, you're getting your protein in. Like,
I got
anyway.
a little bit of tapioca pearls for my boba.
Okay,
and
good,
there might be
good.
some pho after this.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, this has been electric. So much fun. And Sophia, you have been an absolute pleasure to spend time with. Thank you for being with us here on the Galactic Window Space podcast. You're the best.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I literally had the best time. So my cheeks hurt.
I know, mine do too. I'm like, ugh.
My cheeks
thank
hurt, but
you.
I've just been sitting on this crappy chair.
Oh,
Seriously, I need like an actual chair, bro. I feel like I'm just sitting on two by fours.
All right, I'm gonna build it into the Galactic Window budget. We're getting Tan a chair. We're getting Sofia a katana.
Bro, no joke.
Yeah,
And you guys are investing in a best friend photo shoot for branding materials.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Right. You joke about that. You joke about that now, but I want to make.
See you guys soon.
Yes.
Yeah, see you soon. I need models for the workshop, so come on up.
Oh yeah.
We got you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much again. And I hope this is not the last time that you join us on the show. We would love to have you back in the future.
That'd be amazing. Thank you guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, have a good night. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Oh man.
Wow.
Cool. I mean, like, dude, what?
Yeah. How does one just go on with their life after just having hearing such an incredible story? I just that was that might be one of my favorites, man. And no diss to anyone who's been on our show, but that one was special. That was fun. That was cool.
Yeah, it's like Sophia is a skill set cocktail. Like it's this brew of all these different things, and like when you find the right balance of all of it, you find that magic, and that's exactly what she was talking about. Like what was the phrase that she said at the end there? Don't doubt your magic.
Magic, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't doubt the skill cocktail that is Sofia Katherine, because that's like, I'm like, oh, this is so freaking cool. Oh wow, I'm inspired.
Dude, you're so I've mentioned this before in like whenever we talk, but you always have these awesome analogies or little things that you do where you're just like, it's like chocolate but with this. And I'm like, oh my god, you're right. A skill set cocktail. You might be the first person that's ever used that in the universe, but it works out so well. You're right though.
I think I am the first person
Skill set
coining
cocktail.
it. I'm coining it. Making
Yeah.
shirts tomorrow with skill set cocktail on it.
Heck yeah.
And on the back it'll say woo woo.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. What an incredible story. It's people like that kind of just push me, and I know I mentioned this earlier, but it is so crazy to me that just a simple conversation could evoke so many emotions and so many things that can possibly trigger someone to take some kind of action. And I know it sounds so cliche, and it's like, yeah, of course, but it is like for me, for example, like sometimes I'll get stuck in my head, and there will be so many. It can be really difficult for me to get out of that, whatever that is, and yeah, just having a conversation can easily have me break free and be inspired. So that's how I feel. That's what I was trying to say. I'm inspired.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like a cocktail thing, but I'm like, I don't. It's like inspiration soup.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Inspiration foe. Yeah.
Yes. I'm pumped.
Oh, dude.
Pumped.
I'm seeing so many really kind comments
Yeah.
in the chat. I'm gonna just like roll through a bunch of them here. A lot of love for Sophia. I want to feature Sophia. You're incredible from Kayla. JC saying, "Can Sophia be a regular guest? She's super fun." Oh my gosh. This podcast is underrated. Real talk. Avoy, thank you so much. That's so kind.
Yeah.
Also, favorite podcast so far. Chris saying, thank you, Sophia. Judy saying, thank you, Sophia. Doug saying, this was amazing. Thank you. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, my goodness.
You guys are so awesome.
Yes, for sure. For those of you who are still hanging out with us, again, thank you for staying with us for the duration. Been a fantastic night. Want to make you guys aware of ways that you can be supporting the podcasts. So here's what you can be doing. Ways to support the Galactic Window. Number one, you can engage in ways that you may already be doing, like participating in the live chats when we stream an episode every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Time in the U.S. Also, leaving a comment on the video with something that you learned from the podcast, a little nugget, a little quote, or something that impacted you in some way would mean so much. That'll help us learn like what parts of our shows mean the most to you guys. So leaving a comment. Also, of course, liking the videos helps tell YouTube, hey, this video was appreciated. The second thing you do is just watch. If you have free time during the week or a commute or a job that's boring, like help spruce it up a little bit, pull up some past episodes of the Galactic Window that you may have missed. There's a whole playlist here on YouTube. It's also searchable under podcasts on YouTube Music, if that is your primary source of music delivery, like it is for me. And then lastly, there's something called Supers, which is the optional thing. This is by no means required, but those of you who do want to support us financially, you can gift us supers, which are available on the video or in the live chat. It's a way to support us in the ways that we pay for funding to host the stream. We pay for a service called StreamYard, which helps us deliver this podcast to you every single week, and that costs money. So if you want to help keep the stream alive, that's one way that you can support us in that way. But again, totally optional, but very much appreciated. So yeah, those are ways that you can keep us going that much longer. Thank you guys for right. Thanks for how you support us already. It means so much, really, for real. And then if you guys want to support us individually, Dan has been known as the Chasing the Milk. You can find him on social media. Give him a follow on all those platforms, especially the Tickety Talk. And then you can also find me at the Orbital Alliance on social media. Links in the bio. You got the link tree there. It can take you and reroute you wherever you like to follow things. We also have the Galactic Window on TikTok, where you can follow us there for highlights and clips of previous episodes, fun moments, informational moments, inspirational moments. And next week, Dan.
Woo moments.
Woo moments. Next week, we'll be back here December 2nd, Monday night, 9 p.m. Central, with another live episode. So be sure you don't miss it.
Dude, we're going to be finishing up the year with episode... What is it? It's going to be 20...
The last episode of the year will be episode 31.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 5 episodes in December, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, something like that.
That's wild. Okay, cool.
So yeah, we're coming up on the last bit here. We've been doing weekly episodes without a break since July. How's that, man? That's like nuts.
It is it's more than nuts. It's something that I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but originally we we're like, man, maybe we'll just do like once every 2 weeks or maybe 2 podcasts a month. Mm-hmm. And then we both agreed that, what the heck, let's just do it every week and then see what happens.
Yep.
And it's happening. We've been doing it every week. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Right. And it's been cool to see how it's changed since then. You know, when we started, we were like, well, let's try audio only podcasts. Let's do live streams. Let's do pre-recorded. And then, you know, this whole month of November we've had a guest every single week, all 4 weeks in a row. And that's the first month we've ever done that. So we've certainly evolved and adapted and tried new things. And it's been the ride of a lifetime, man. So super cool.
Look at this.
Oh, dude. Yeah. 100th episode. I mean, we're talking 2026, right? If the math, so we've got another, so 31 plus 52 if we did every week next year, and any bonus episodes if that becomes a thing. So you're looking at 83 episodes there. So it'll be like in what, quarter one, quarter two of 2026, episode 100.
We got this. Easy.
So, or Tan, let's just go one episode every single day. Let's go. Let's go,
easy. Yeah. Every episode, we just look skinnier and skinnier and just more like malnourished. Like I'm super jaundiced. You've got gray hair.
Yeah.
We got to do it for the gram. We got to do it for the views, bro.
I start braiding my chin beard because it's
worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Oh goodness.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, let's wrap things up. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to deliver a amazing story of Sofia Katherine. Be sure to tune in to us next week. Appreciate you all. And as always, we will see you all on the other side.